Blessings. How is everyone tonight? I hope you guys are well. Thanks for tuning in. I'm getting in our co-host. Where is our co-host?
Hey.
Hi, beautiful. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I am good. A little tired, but good.
Yeah.
It's been a long day, long week, but...
I know. I can well imagine, my love. I had a not so rough a week, but I have to put down my foot a couple of times, and it's kind of stressful also.
But you build back and everything is crisp.
Build back, and we're there, strong and powerful, so we give thanks.
I love it.
Right.
We are, I know that we were in the middle of, we weren't ready to finish last week, right?
So before we get started, let's welcome everybody, all right? So you're tuned in to Pum Pum 101 with yours truly, Caleen Dierdrick, and the gorgeous goddess that you're looking at up top there, sir. Her name happens to be Ramona Riley. So we're going to be talking about, we're continuing our conversation from last week, right? And so we're looking at masturbation. That's where the conversation we did pop off, So we're talking masturbation tonight, and we're still continuing with foreplay. Right. So Ramona left off saying in the initial stages you weren't particularly keen on masturbation, and then you gave you started talking a little bit about your masturbation journey. So you want to recap, and then we can get into the juicy.
Okay, I can recap. Right. So I guess for me, when it comes to masturbation, from when I was younger, when I didn't even really know what masturbation was, I was masturbating. Right. And I did that throughout. I was quite content, quite happy. I think it's healthy. I thought it was healthy then. Right. And so I was fine. I had no negative qualms about it. And once I started to get sexually active, because I didn't lose my virginity until I was 20. So... Right. I did a lot of masturbation. And so once I started having sex, I guess because I started so late, it was like, forget masturbation. You know what I mean? I want to throw myself in the sex world, you know what I mean? And try to catch up almost, So I didn't really start back really, really masturbating until I got pregnant with my oldest child, and it was it's something that it came out of me. I didn't necessarily, I had sex, of course. I have my husband and I want to please him and that kind of thing. But what I lived for every single day was he going to work, me cleaning the house, and at the end of it all, I lie down and I go feel up my wonderfulness, and it was everything. And it was like that for every single pregnancy. Every single pregnancy I had, I was feeling up myself and masturbating every day, twice a day, 3 times a day. Wow. After I had them, I went back to the old me, which was kind of I just want sex. I just want penetration. I want the real thing, And I think a part of it was that every time I would masturbate, it's it would be just like an appetizer for me.
Okay.
So it was well, no, I really want it. Well, no, I really want it. And so I just realized, you know what? My sexual appetite is way too high in itself.
You're masturbating?
And then I'm masturbating and wanting it more. So I'm not going to. And I think I did that subconsciously. I don't think that I consciously made that effort.
Right.
Or that thought. And then the other day, you and I was a guest on your show. And we were talking about, this is how this whole Pum Pum thing came up. 101 came up. And, I had said to you that, I don't really masturbate, surprisingly. And your brain was lick. You were what do you mean? What the hell? And I literally promise you, Caleen, since that day, I really looked into myself and was Mona, really? Why don't you? You need to. What's wrong with you? And so I've actually tapped back into that. And so I'm doing that more regularly than I've done in years. Years and years.
So let me give you my masturbation story as I know Honey, I discovered my clit in the shower. I was probably 12 years old. You know, when the shower head come off, the big power stream does come out, so then I washed my body good and proper, honey, and the water stream hit the clit, and I went, what the hell is that? What is that? So, suffice to say that the bath them get longer and longer and longer, okay? I thought to myself, you see, the first time I orgasmed, I swear to God, my feet was going to fall from underneath me. And I thought, what the hell? What the hell is this? Exactly, but I couldn't tell anybody because certainly the parents are not talking about sex. I certainly couldn't tell her, say, yo, I did find something in the bathroom that's on it nice, man. Right?
Well, nice.
But I continued to do it. I continued to do it. Suffice to say, when I work with women, in terms of them understanding themselves a lot better, it is one of the things that I suggest as well in my lap dance class. We are touching ourselves because I believe that most of us as women are waiting on this phenomenal lover to come shell we brain down him, gonna bring the body wicked and storm with it terrible and then because something there, right? But the truth is, good sex come from one, chemistry, two, dialogue. Yeah, talking to the person, letting them know exactly what it is that works for you, right? So knowing what works for you. I'm spilling on them because something there. You understand what I mean? So definitely, I see a question where, what about toys for masturbation? Absolutely, but
we'll soon get there.
We'll soon get to that now. What your finger them can do, girlfriend, listen to me now. I have had orgasm that me drop off of the bed when me come. Oop, I grown and I did with laugh. You understand me? Some of my best orgasms was through masturbation, like absolutely, and I'm giggling and I'm talking about the ones that come from down in your toe, down in your belly button,
and just draw up, come up in your head,
all the way up. And then the thing is this, right? When I talk to women about masturbation, I'm saying I notice that women who tell me that they don't masturbate, for some of them, and I notice that I'm saying not all, for some of them it's a situation where them start to feel conscious. Like, all right, you're by yourself, you start to touch the pum pum a little bit and you say to yourself, what the hell may I do? It's almost like you feel as though somebody's watching you.
There's a lot of judgment in self.
Exactly. A whole lot of shame around it because a lot of us grew up being told that you're not supposed to masturbate, is against the will of the Lord, right? Outside of that, no,
you shouldn't even touch it. You shouldn't even touch it.
You're only supposed to bathe pum pum in a my girl. You never know. That's it.
And barely lotion it a little bit.
What kind of lotion? You used to put lotion on your one? No, Mona. No, friend. It's straight up the argument.
I lotion my lips. I do.
No, friend. My one don't know nothing about no lotion. But what I say is, what I'm saying is, for a lot of people, there is so much guilt and shame around this masturbation for women. Because man not suffer from that, no time. Them just grab body and start the way it name there. So the thing is, what I say to a woman is, this is the best way of you exploring and discovering yourself. How do you want to be touched? So my thing is, you go into a full session like you make some love. The thing is, again, even, you know how we talk to the men and tell them not to run straight for the pipes? You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even for the women, go through a whole session where you're just standing and touching all of that yum, all of this good stuff that is your body, running down and just feeling what happens when your own hand touch you and what feels good to you. You get what I mean? So by the time you get to Pum Pum now, you're hot and ready. And the thing is, again, where I was talking about last week in terms of even the fingering and so on, you know how you want to be touched. You know how you want the finger in, at what point you want it in, how much pressure you want it, all of this kind of stuff. How deep you want it. So whilst it is that you are masturbating, then you get to discover, okay, what actually works for you. And in communication now with your lover, you can tell them, say, all right, look here now, I like it whenever it got deep, I like it when it just up at the top, so just stay right there, so you don't have to go no further with it. So you get information to inform your significant other in terms of what works for you. So for me, but what I say, I teach workshops on masturbation because I take this masturbation to a next level, Ramona. I feel that it's an essential part of the lovemaking. Now, as it pertains now to the man, it is something that I would, suggest that men talk to their girlfriends about. You get what I mean? Talk to them about masturbating. Watch them masturbate for you because, like, one of the sexiest things let me say sexy, is to have this woman sit there and touch herself, because for the man, he now gets to see how she wants to be touched. Is she holding on to her nipples tightly? Is she like just flicking them? What exactly is she doing with them? So he knows what kind of stimulation she actually gets.
How is she rubbing her clitoris? Is she rubbing it? Is she tapping it? Is she... Yeah, I think that's really important. Is she going fast? Is she going slow? Is she mixing it up? What is she doing? I think that's really important for couples. I mean, and we're talking couples here, you know, for the man to be able to. And I think it's great for both of them to have like a masturbation session itself.
Absolutely.
You know, like you gotta like leave all the judgment and all that shit like on the roadside. That is not here.
Please.
You know, and kind of just... Maybe you need to put on some porno. Maybe you want to do it romantically, whatever like satisfies you or whatever makes you comfortable, because at the end of the day you really have to be comfortable, right? But I agree with you. It is important for them to come out of their head, because it's important for the man to be able to see what pleases her, and it's important for her to see what pleases him, because for some men, women are jacking them off and doing all kind of things, and the man don't even jack himself off like that. He doesn't even go all the way to the bottom of the shaft. He stays probably up at the head, and she doesn't even know that. She thinks she have to deal with the whole thing. You know what I mean? Because another man that she was with needed the whole thing to be satisfied or to be stimulated. So it's important for us to do it together, to watch each other, you know, and it's... I agree with you 100%.
You said that the thing with the masturbation, as in when a man sits, there's a couple of things that a man have to understand, and this is one of the other things, guys, outside of watching her masturbate. There's a thing that women complain about all the time, that a man can't just get close to them without it be a situation where he's trying to have sex. You get what I mean? So this whole idea that when you can, as a man, when you can control yourself long enough just to sit and just watch her. Because I say to people all the time, you see, when you're actually having sex, you are so close onto each other, it is hard for you to see a lot of the responses. You get what I mean? When you sit and watch her, you have is a completely different turn on, Ramona. I mean, a completely different turn on when you see how she arched her back, when you see how she opened her legs, when you see, you understand what I mean?
You see her eyes roll back in the back of her head.
When you see how her breath catching her throat, I get excited. I get excited. When you see how her breath catch. You understand what I mean? When you see the shivering of her body, the shaking of her legs, everything. It is
the way she's breathing, everything about it.
Everything about it is a completely different turn on. And the same thing is applicable to the man, right? So if it is that as women, we sat and watched them, you know what I mean? How him touch himself as well. When he's getting there, the tempo, what his hands are doing when he's building up. So you can change your entire game altogether, because sometimes he could just be sitting there watching the news and you just got jerk him off, just give him a nice little hand job, just to switch up things. Do you understand what I mean? So this masturbation session, I think, is an extraordinary way to jumpstart the foreplay. And gentlemen, if she is masturbating, she is doing the work to get it wet. So you know, after they lick and suck and pull and prod and juke and all of them something there. Understand what I mean? She is doing all of that. She's doing all of that.
Just enjoy it and learn.
Just enjoy. There you go. Just enjoy it and learn. Just enjoy it and learn. So for me, masturbation is an absolute must. I think every woman should be masturbating. I think that's something that men can teach women, because them do it without batting an eyelid. They're not overly preoccupied with the shame and the guilt and all of that foolishness. I find that it's usually women who are afflicted in this regard. You know what I mean?
I agree. So, and it's society, but I agree with you.
Yeah. So the masturbation thing is absolutely key in terms of watching this woman explore her body, in terms of you getting first-hand view, you the man getting first ringside view, in terms of what does it for her, what makes her feel good, how she wants to be touched, where she put her hands, how she cup herself. Is it a cup thing? Is it a one finger thing? Is
it multiple fingers?
There you go. Is it multiple fingers? Does she insert 2 and 3 fingers at a time? Yeah, so you can get an idea. Okay, so because you come with your little one finger and that now do nothing fair. You understand what I mean? Some women is a 3-finger thing and you have to be going at it violently.
And some don't want that. And some don't want the finger.
Don't want that.
So they just want the outside stimulation.
There you have it. So this gives the man a good opportunity to determine what works. Now to go back to Q's question, where she was asking about the masturbation toys. Absolutely. I would strongly suggest that you definitely try you want to try the butterfly, right? You want to try the bullet. You definitely want to try one of your the dildos and the different vibrating, the different, what is that, the different levels that they go up, just to see what works for you, because not one sensation might be okay and then another sensation is too intense. Or
right, and it will throw you off.
There you go. So maybe you just have to push it down a little bit lower. Also with the toy, you get to explore the lips. You remember last week we were talking about the lips, right? And how the man should spend some more time on the lips of the vagina. With the toy, you can get to move it up and down and feel, okay, what feels good? What pulse feels good? You know what I mean? Does it feel better if it is that I'm lubricated? Or does it feel better if it is that I'm dry? So the toy offers a variety of sensations. Options. Yeah, whole heap of options. Whole heap of options in that regard.
Yeah, I think the toys I want women and men, because it's so funny, because like I have some guy friends that buy toys for their women, you know?
Hell yeah.
And they use it in sex and that kind of thing. And a lot of men that do that have come to the realization that their woman needs more pleasure. Okay. Now, what I will say, okay, because it would be unfair for me to not say, there are some times when a woman can use toys and it can be to her disadvantage. Okay, not all the time, but it can happen, because what happens is her body gets so used to this object that is twisting and turning and vibrating and doing all of these amazing, wonderful things, that you find that when she gets with someone now, and his penis can't do what it is that a dildo can do, and then when it comes to her interaction with the man, it's a little bit different, because she has gotten so comfortable in her own self too. So we have to make sure that we're mixing it up a little. Of course, if you don't have a partner, then you don't have a partner. I mean, whatever. Right. But if you do have a partner, definitely mix it up. You know, use the toys with him. Use the toys by yourself. Let him see you use the toys, so he can know necessarily how to use it. How to use it on you. Because you also don't want to, you know, we don't want to make our men feel less than either. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, there is nothing better than a thrust from the pelvis.
Look here.
From a real man. Let me just tell you.
From a real man. Now, the thing is this. The beauty of sex toys is that they're enhancers, right? And I have worked with men who felt intimidated. This whole idea of them partner having a toys that shell them brain, how the body that bigger than for them own, it have 17 speed.
Right.
For them own can jump and spin and juke and all of these things.
And vibrate and everything.
There you go. But the thing is this, what I say to men all the time is nothing replaces the real deal. Because the vibrator is concentrated in a particular area. You have to hold it. You might fasten it on wall a little bit or whatever, but it can't hold the woman. It can't touch her. It can't caress her. It can't kiss her. You understand what I mean? So it might be able to get her off. And it might serve a purpose in terms of you facilitating the foreplay and changing up the foreplay. The beauty of the sex toy in the bedroom with couples is that it offers some variety. Because if you have the same one man from umpteen how long, after a while you know exactly what it is that he's going to be doing. What is he going to do next? And then he's going to kiss, and then he's going to feel, and then he's going to finger, and then he's going to
and then he's going to inhale, and then he's going to exhale.
Exactly. Whenever it is that you have the toy now, then you break up the monotony. You break up the monotony that you have watched her masturbated with her, watch her masturbate or whatever else. That's a new way of, you know, engaging her. The foreplay automatically change up, right? So you understand what I mean? When you surprise her with a toy in the bedroom and you actually know how to use it, is watching her go insane with the sensations. So I am for sex toys, love them, you must have them, buy them together. That's another thing in terms of men, you know, kind of starting the foreplay early. Go shop with your woman, carry her, go buy a toy. Where you like,
you them have the toy, them have the toy where you put on the penis and she's on the penis, but the toy is around the penis and it vibrate and it can do all kind of madness.
With a vibrator. Hello, and everybody.
And it have a remote.
Absolutely. No, you know which one you need to try? Ladies, gentlemen, let me tell you now, you need to buy on a set, you need to buy on a woman, one of the panty one, them. Hello. You see them panty control? And you have the remote control, something carry the woman go on a date. And
just press.
And press button and see what work here over the dinner.
And how she twitches them.
I'm telling you.
She ready. By the time she finished eating, she's ready.
Home. You can take her at the table. Okay, if you can get it, only things can go on at the table. But the panty vibrator, I'm telling you, it is a must.
It's a must try.
You have to try that something there, because I promise you, say your woman going to be absolutely in love with it. And the beauty of it again is that it is spontaneous. You guys are outside of the house, away from the house. You understand what I mean?
Right.
Away from
which
the
takes
house.
away the normality.
Yes, which takes away the predictability, and predictability, I say it all the time, is the death of romance. If you come to know that this is what the person is going to be doing after a while, you say, frig this, yo. I know there's no. This is why the outside person is enticing, because you never know what they're gonna come with.
Right, it's different. It's new. It's fresh.
There you have it. One of the other things that we can explore in terms of foreplay, and I started talking a little bit about that just now, is moving it. You see this bedroom thing, this sex in a bedroom thing.
Lame.
Gentlemen, it is as old as dirt.
Switch it
up. Old as dirt. Switch it up. There are so many different ways to engage this woman. And again, you want to think spontaneous. You want to spring some things upon her. You understand what I mean? When she leaves.
Or if it's not spontaneous to him, it's spontaneous to her. So he could have been thinking about this for the past 2 weeks. Like, all right, when I take her, I got this and I got that and I got buy that tie and I got this. But to her, she's like, oh my God. She didn't expect this, or you put so much thought into that. And them time that the pussy wet, when a woman who said you put in all this time and effort, and she had no idea that any of this time or effort was put into it, that is when she fling the pum pum on you.
Listen to me, as me said, you said a surprise something there.
It's
when
everything.
Look here, who alone pan her in the elevator? You said a public something there.
I love it. I love it.
Is the way to it. Let me take out the earphone. I tell you, it's the way to my heart. Jesus Christ. Surprise me. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's
go through the whole house.
Absolutely.
Kitchen, bedroom. Come out of there. Go up on the veranda. Yo, take me to one hotel and have a veranda there.
Outside. Take me outside where the neighbors
can possibly
see. Hello. On the lawn, on the balcony. Listen to me. Girl.
And the first... Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't.
No. Go ahead.
It's for some women, there might not be as open as Caleen and I when it comes to that, because we have just experienced that, and so we know it and we've experienced it and we love it. But for a lot of women, they don't know. So I want the men to understand that you might need to take her out of her comfort zone in that manner. She might not be like, hey, come, let me do this, right? Because, of course, we're not conditioned in this manner, okay? And we're trying to suppress all of this other stuff because society says so. So you might need to take her out of her own mind, and maybe do it outside, and maybe it not be that somebody could be watching, but just the fact that it's outside to like awaken this part of her, of this like outside nature sex life, to then she can build up to this other part. But there's no woman that you take her outside, right? She's comfortable and you have sex with her, that she's not going to want that again and again. And again, I don't care what. And you know what? It's so funny, Caleen, because it's not, you can't do many, it's not, if you're talking about just like go underneath one tree and rape, right? You can't do all the positions, But at the end of the day, it is so fulfilling. even if you only did 2 positions versus if you were in the bed and you did 5. You know what I mean? But just the environment and you know the hot it's like the heat in the moment, because of course it is a spontaneous thing, will take her to a whole nother level, and we might not orgasm. And this is the thing: good sex doesn't always mean, or good foreplay or good whatever doesn't always mean you have to orgasm. It doesn't. But we want to make sure that the stimulation and the all of that is there, you know, which is why masturbation or / foreplay itself is important. And just changing the environment is a part of foreplay. It's a part of creating a new vibe, which then makes her comfortable or makes her intrigued.
Here is what I look at with the with whenever it is that you change up location, right? Especially whenever it is that you're outside. There is something about the idea of being seen or almost being caught that again heightens the situation. And when the situation is heightened, what you find is that you are more likely to climax and climax quicker and more intense than before, because it is added excitement. You know what I mean? This whole
and it's almost like a time crunch or something. It's like time is on. It's like time is not on your side. So you better get this and love it and enjoy it.
And then the thing is this, you know, you're lucky in somewhere, you know. Have you ever been like outside getting eat out or something? You understand what I mean? Or even having sex, right? And you know that it's just a matter of time before somebody could possibly turn the corner. You're at a party in the backyard, whatever. You understand what I mean? There is a way that you crunch down on yourself to facilitate the climax coming a little faster. You follow what I'm saying? So for some, the shock of the situation might be all it is that she needed to help her to climax quick. And for some, it might be the shock of the situation that will make her say, oh God, I can't come, because she can't relax enough. But the truth is, it would have been something, a punch of excitement. And for couples who have been together for a period of time, these are the things that you need to be doing in terms of keeping things lively. You wanna be shocking each other. You wanna be surprising each other. You wanna be thinking of different ways to change the sex and the interaction up. So this outer door thing. Yeah, go ahead, Sina.
Great. No, the outer door thing is fantastic. Fantastic. And we need to put more emphasis on outside. Because outside is where it's at. I don't care if it's on a beach. I don't care if it's in some dirt. I don't care if it's in a river. I don't care if it's underneath one tree. If it's on top of one shed. If it's on a rooftop. I don't care where it is. Just being in a public space, even if public is not there, or even if public could walk around the corner. Right. It is great. It is amazing. It's like,
you see this whole idea. You see with the whole heap of quarantine and stuff we're going. One of the things that I'm going to suggest, guys, is take her into the car. The car, park up in the car lot, don't it? It's outside. Take her into the car. You understand what I mean? Get dressed up and go downstairs in the car, or better yet, you go downstairs in her t-shirt. You understand?
With no panties.
With no panties. And you have your way with her in the car. In the car. Right there. Park up outside of the front yard or whatever else, but that in and of itself, think about like whenever it is that you guys were just getting involved, when you're just dating and so on, the newness of the situation and the fact that you can't keep your hands off this person. You want every minute you're trying to touch them, anywhere you're trying to touch them. There are times that you will set out to go to a party and don't make it, or you make it to the party. There you go. You make it to the party and then make it home.
I have to go back home.
Exactly. There you go. Sometimes so this is one of the ways that you can change it up. This whole business of throwing down in the car. But you see the bed thing now, no. Especially now when it is that you guys are seeing each other every day, right? You don't have the luxury of you don't have the luxury of him going to work or she going to work. You wake up every day, want to buck up one another every day or whatever else. There has to be something that is completely different than what it is that you would normally do. And even if it is that you do this every other week, right? it is still something to look forward to. And if you start doing that to your woman, I promise you, she starts thinking to herself, how me I go up the ante now? Him do a thing I shell my brain. What me I go do to him right about now? You follow what I mean? And so if both persons are thinking, what can I do now to actually blow this woman's mind, to blow this man's mind, then what you have is excitement. What you have is constant difference that keep things nice and spunky.
Yeah. Let me ask you, what do you think about attire? Because, okay, so from a woman's point of view, right, women, like, they feel like if they put on, like, a sexy teddy, or if they put on, you know, like, some lace thing with some something and some heels and whatever, you know, that's where it's at. And in terms of the men, do you think that the men really care that much as the women think they care about the fact that they're dressed and they have on the fishnet stockings with the this and the that? Like, because at the end of the day, this is about men.
Right. So here's how I see it, Ramona. The thing is, what I say to women all the time is we have to always be mindful that men are visual. Visual. It is the thing that they see that excites them the most. In my class, one of the things I'm going to ask women to dress a particular way, right? Because if, especially now, your man is used to seeing you in your house clothes, right? And if it's not the house clothes, is the way call it, you know, you got the office garb, right? It's not often that they buck you up in the fishnet stockings and the little piece of G-string something there and the teddy and whatever else. It breaks the monotony, right? It is something different. And then the clothing is suggestive. So once him see you put on that, him instantly know, okay.
Him know him get lucky tonight.
Jesus, him know say him bingo. Things are going to go on. Him wicked. You understand what I mean? So even if it is just a matter of changing the outfit, and that's another thing now for the men, because we're chat to the men. Buy her something. Buy her lingerie, because most women love lingerie, you know. You understand what I mean?
Or buy her a gift card and let her pick out the lingerie that might fit her body style. Whatever, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. But the thing too is this, you see, Ramona, sometimes it's nice when he comes home with it.
I agree.
Where he gets to buy what he wants to see her in, because you
to
have
see her in.
Absolutely, because you have some women, when it comes to lingerie, boy, them, look here, the little see-through teddies as far as it goes, you know? Now, little sheer up on the top there, so, and that is the stuff tone. He want to see her in the bandage something. You understand? He want little.
He wanted the nipple to come through.
Exactly. Something. There you go. The clit hang out and them little things. So if that is the case, then he ought to buy that. There you have it. He ought to buy that for her. And if now she gets to see, okay, ooh, this is what turns you on. You understand what I mean? So him surprising her with lingerie, girl, that goes a long way. That does.
That is like 20,000 brownie points, by the way, men. 20,000 brownie points. If you can do that. If you can buy her something, right, that she can put on for you, you got it made. You got it made.
Hands down.
Most women are going to enjoy that. So for the woman that doesn't enjoy that, well, she probably just had a bad day, or I don't know, something is going on. But the majority of women are going to love the fact that you took the effort, you went out of your way, you did this. And I mean, that in itself is going to wet up her pum pum. Her panties is going to be wet before she even put on the new something where you buy her.
Absolutely. So the thing is this too, the thing that we have to take into consideration, Ramona, is this. Don't wait on Valentine's Day to do these things.
That's too cliche.
Listen to me. Let me tell you something. I don't even recognize Valentine's Day.
I don't either.
No, sorry, please and thanks.
It should be Valentine's Day every day.
Every day, exactly. If it is, and I say this is another thing I'm going to preach all the time. If you can assign a day out of the week that you're just going to pour some love on your honey, it changes the game. That, again, is foreplay. That again is mixing it up. That is changing. That is breaking up the monotony. All of this kind of a thing. So if you come home with lingerie, if you come home with a bit of jewelry, and I'm not telling you to break the bank, it has to be diamonds. You understand me? And gold and so, and not all the time you have to buy them something. The stainless steel goes a long way. You follow what I mean? Or even just simple shit. You're supposed to know how your woman stay, but surprise her with something. That is foreplay. That is foreplay. It is, you see, Alfred, the one them with the picnic them? The picnic them are yard right about now. You see, the man that can help out at this point, you see, we're talking about foreplay, and there's a tendency for us to only limit it to the actual contact.
Physical, sexual.
Exactly. No. There are some things now that you can do prior to that, prying the woman to this kind of a thing. If you have, your woman, you guys have children together, you want to start to jump around and help out in the house. One of the bane of holy for woman existence and the everlasting tidying up. And this whole idea that it is her responsibility to do it. You understand what I mean? It's a fair chore. Is she responsible for the picnic? Are you supposed to cook in the kitchen? Are you supposed to tidy up and them little something? The sexiest thing for me is a man who can cook, you know. Hello?
Oh, I don't talk. I never talked to a man who can't cook yet.
Hello.
Ever.
Look here. Cook like a food. Worse now, me I cook the food and you tidy up the house. Please understand and know that by the time the dinner done, right that's up on the kitchen floor. And you tidy over. Thank you very much. It. Come take it, honey. You understand? So this whole idea
is yours.
It is yours. Oh God, may I work for the night. Trust me. Help out. It makes a difference. Put the picnic them to sleep on over there. Put it to sleep.
Put it to sleep.
Put to sleep, exactly. So I'm freeing me up. So when I am in the mood, I can get in the mood quickly because I'm not exhausted. The other thing, Ramona, that we have to talk about is this conversation. Because for a lot of women, it is the conversation that will pull them in. Can you talk to this woman? Can you engage her in conversation? Because conversation is sexy.
It is.
Can we talk about something more than Vibes Cartel? You understand what I mean? Can we talk about something more than the damn state of affairs that is happening in the world right about now?
Right. How deep can you really get?
Thank you. Can we talk about something? Can you share? Can you share? Can you share your fantasies? How many of us can share the fantasies? How many of us dare to share the fantasies? Can you share your vulnerabilities? You understand?
And this starts with self, you know. It starts with self. Because a lot of if you can't accept it in yourself that this is your fantasy or this is what you might like or whatever, no matter what judgment you might think might be out there, just in self. If you are judging self already, you know what I mean? And I'm speaking to the women. If you're judging yourself, then you fail already. It's, you know what I mean? You can't judge self. You just gotta accept that this is what you like. This is what you would like to experience. You don't know anything about this, but it seems interesting and intriguing, you know, like, and that's okay. There is no right or wrong. There's no cut cloth, black and white. Not when it comes to sex. Not when it comes to foreplay. Not when it comes to masturbation. These things are about self. In terms of what it is that you prefer, what it is that you want, what it is that you need. That's what it really is about.
And being at a space that you can articulate that. And being at a space that you feel is judgment free. So I remember I went to give a talk at some wedding expo, right? And a woman came up to me and she was saying, you know, you need to talk to the men about being open to the fact that women want to have different experiences, because sometimes a man can typecast a woman, you know, and box her in. She's a Christian woman, so he only can do them Christian sexier. And you know how the Christian people have a way to believe that the sex must be sanitized. There's holy sex and then there's unholy sex. You know them things. You understand what I mean? So she's saying, I want you to talk to him about that, because that's one of the challenges, you know, that she was facing at the time. The fact that the man have her in a one little box. Him only want to do this and this to her. And anytime she come with any kind of suggestion, it's almost like him, I wonder what is happening. You know, what is
where she learned that? Why she want that?
Exactly. So it is, just so men understand, and it works two ways, right? That you should be able to have open conversation about the things that excite you sexually, about the things that you want to try, about your fantasies and so on. That's supposed to be things that you can fling on the table. And that is another way. If I have told you my fantasies, that's another way of you keeping things spontaneous. Because okay, Caleen did say, I remember my ex-husband one time would tell the man, fair, I've never had the candlelight experience, right? And I want to have that experience. Ramona, hello, sweetheart. One day I walk come in from work, bust the apartment door, and so God Almighty, we call it the petals, the on the ground. That's how I want it.
Nice.
You see, by the time me look up, and me reach the staircase, honey, candle all over the place, in the bedroom. Me no know, the man must cut up how much dozen candle and light up the whole of them. I mean, in the room, hot, candle there.
But it was beautiful, and it made your pussy wet. I know that shit. Listen
to me, dripping, because I was like, when I say it was probably about 2 months or so that I had spoken to him about it. I not think about it in my consciousness at all. So can you imagine walking home to something like that? So
you're probably walking in about to tell him about how horrible your day was, or how stressed out you were.
How the traffic wicked. You understand what I mean? And how me hungry and when me tired.
You never hungry again when you walk in.
I never remember nothing about that. I never remember nothing about no hungry, my girl. All I think is blood seed. He did all of this for me. All of this for me. So again, the element of surprise. And when a woman sees that you are paying attention to her needs, that you are prioritizing her needs, it changed the game like altogether.
It does. Just the way she reacts to you, just the way she's going to respond to you. And I don't mean in terms of just sex. I mean in terms of in general. You know what I mean? Like, she's going to go just a little bit more over and beyond because you went out of your way when she thought you didn't have to, or she didn't expect it. And she will go over and beyond. It won't just be a duty or a chore to her anymore. Now it's going to be, I want to make him happy. I want to please him. I want him to, and then everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. Go ahead.
Yeah. The sexual relationship between a man and a woman, and we haven't even gotten into penetration and whatever. That is for another week. Yeah. But just like loving on her in any kind of way, and this could be just gentle touching, this could be petting, this could be kissing, this could be all of those types of things. This foreplay, changing of area, changing of adding the toys, all of these things that you can do. There's so much that you can do to make sure that you continually keep the spice in your relationship. Right.
I want to touch on this whole Jesus. It was right there at the tip of my tongue. My God, I feel like the box foot. I wanted to talk a little bit about. We were looking at the foreplay. I want to talk about something that we have not touched on any at all, and it is the whole business of being able to hold your lover's gaze. In workshops, I have, and when I counseling couples, we realize something. Ramona, you see this whole idea looking at your man eye or looking at your woman eye.
Yeah.
And the longer that they have been together is the less them can look upon one another. You understand what I'm trying to say? No. And most times the woman is able to meet his eye whenever she upset, whenever she cross. And the same thing for the man. You're upset over something at them time that you're looking at them face and you want them to understand, say you're serious, you're hurt, you're whatever, right? But as it pertains to the interaction, the intimacy, and usually that is one of those things that I look for to see how connected are these two people. Are they able to meet each other's gaze? Because most times are furtive glances. You look over this a little bit, me look upon you a little bit or whatever else, but I never actually look at you. Hold your gaze. You see, in foreplay, this business of looking at her, looking into her eyes, let me tell you, say, it changes the game. When you allow a woman access, you know how they talk about the eyes are the windows to the soul. When you allow somebody to look into your eyes so they can actually see what it is that you are feeling, you can show them how it is that you see them, how them impact you, how them moving you in that moment. It changes everything. Slow things down where the foreplay is concerned. Again, delay this whole grabbing and feel up and yank and pull and suck, and just look in her eye. Look in her eye. We talked a little bit about the breathing last week. Just being able to breathe together. This is the tantric sex business now.
Yeah.
If you can, just have her straddle you, right? So you're sitting with your legs face forward, and she comes and she is straddling you with her legs pushing to behind you, and you're just looking at each other. You not do nothing. You just look in at them eye. You would be surprised what happened after when it is that you actually start to touch each other. You follow what me I try to say?
I do. And even go ahead. Sorry. No.
Shoot. Go on.
No, even when it comes to, us, like you guys might be doing foreplay, and and we're telling you guys, okay, make sure you look into her eyes and all of that. And it might not be as amazing the first time, because yes, it will be good in terms of it's different and whatever, but for some people, depending on how comfortable they are in themselves, it can make them a little uncomfortable.
Right.
But I promise you, the next time they will be much more comfortable, and the time after that they'll be much more comfortable. So we have to break that mold of not like, we want to be able to make sure that you are looking in your woman's eye so that it makes it more comfortable the next time. Because to be honest with you, there's nothing sexier when a man is eating out your pussy and he might look up in your eye, and you're looking up it, you're looking down in your eye, and you say, yes, baby, I know, say I love it. Enjoy. It tastes good, don't?
Jesus, Ramona, let me tell you.
And then he's just like, yeah, and then just in it, and then whole face in it. I love it.
Sexy. Whenever it is that he's able to look up and see what is going on there, because most of the time them lock, them gone somewhere else. When you're able to look up and also be able to see what it is that you're doing to this woman, and how
she's reacting.
Exactly. You see that eye contact, something there, it is everything. And even the other way around, when it is that a woman is sucking dick, right? They stick, most of them, the eye lock, and them just dead upon the top or whatever else. You understand what I mean?
I cannot
look up, looking at the man eye, at the man eye. You understand what I mean?
And it gets him so hot and bothered.
Exactly. And you're looking at him eye and make him know, say, yo, I got this. Watch how me I got suck out your life.
And you like this, baby? You like this?
You understand what I say? It changes everything. So this eye contact thing, I don't know, joke something. It's not a joke, something. And as it pertains to the intimacy, it is a big deal, Ramona. Like an absolute big deal. Again, as I said, for me, it's one of those things that I look, the dynamics of the couple, whenever it is that somebody comes to see me, it's one of them things that I'm looking to see, can they look into each other's eyes? And sometimes them can't because them have issues. You know what I mean?
That has to be dealt with.
Exactly. But it says something to me that in spite of the issues, there is still this softness. There is a reassurance, even for the woman who is nervous or she is uncomfortable with this eye contact situation. It gives you an opportunity to talk to her, to reassure her, to make her understand something. There, it's okay. Let go. I can take you. I can take whatever it is that you have here, whatever discomfort you're experiencing at this time. We can go through this together. Go ahead. Let yourself go. Show me you. You get what I mean? So this eye contact thing is amazing for building intimacy. When you want something more than just a joke, when she's more than just a fuck, you want to look in this woman's eye. And even if it is that this is a one-night stand, there is no reason why you shouldn't honor this woman with your gaze.
And look in her eye, yes.
Look in the eye, brother. You understand what I mean? And look in his eye, it changes, it up the ante in the interaction altogether.
And I think what the men need to understand, because of course this is about the men, is that when they do these little things that we're talking about, if it is that they're buying the clothes, if it is that they're changing the environment, whatever it is that they're doing, at the end of the day, it's almost like it plumps up and gets the pussy ready. at the end of the day. Like, that is the actual reason why we're saying to do this. Because it's going to get it to that place. No matter how wonderful, supple, warm, wet, whatever the pussy usually is, when you step out of that and you now start to do all these other things that Caleen and I are talking about, you're going to find that you start to see her react in ways that she has never reacted before. Her vagina is reacting. Her physical body on the outside is reacting. Her tongue is probably reacting. Her eyes are reacting. Her toes are reacting. Everything is responding to the feeling that she's getting, you know. And this is just foreplay. We're not even talking about penetration.
Absolutely.
This is foreplay alone that can do this.
If you can build up a woman to this space, then again, as I said, you would be surprised what takes place whenever you get to the space now where you actually penetrate her. You understand what I mean? You see this again, when we talk about the change, most of what it is that we've been talking about is just changing things up. You understand what I mean? We're changing things up altogether in such a way that it's no longer predictable. It's no longer predictable. You're touching on the different elements that make a woman excited. So when we talk about looking in the eye, the emotional connection, you get me, right? We also, whenever it is that you are, how it is that you touch her, how you engage her, this kind of a deal is changing up the connection that both of them have with one another. So it is one of those things that you definitely need to pay attention to in order to enhance the foreplay and to make sure that you're not doing the same thing. After a while, no matter how good the man yam the pum pum, after a while, if that is all he is bringing, then it's like, okay, all right, cool. We done did this though. And this is
right.
Like
many of times
we have done it. What are you going to do that is going to change it up altogether? How am I going to surprise you? How am I going to add a new element? You understand? And we're not saying that it don't feel good, but sometimes the thing that keeps the relationship together is the fact that it's different. It is different. You understand what I mean? So, like, even whenever we talked a little bit about the eating of the pussy last week, right? And this thing here now, you have a lot of men who eat the woman frontal, as in she lay down and he is right on the pum pum. You understand what I mean? You see, when if all you do is just flick her over and start to eat her from behind, you just change it altogether.
Change up the whole dynamics.
Change it. She'll cook and you just jump on her. Just lift up one of the leg them right at the counter and just start. It changes everything. Absolutely.
Because the way she reacts is different from that angle. Like the way that she can bend herself and twist herself and whatever because of how good she's feeling looks better, looks different, which is appealing because it's different. And it's different, and because it's different, it's appealing as well because it's something new and fresh and you know.
The sensation, you hit the clit and you hit the lips of the vagina completely different when you're from behind versus when you're just hitting it full frontal,
Yeah.
It's a completely different sensation. You see all the feel of his face pressing into the arm, into the backside, right?
The other way, yeah.
Jesus, girl. My God, watch Mr. Q. I ball out. Yes, absolutely.
Janet.
I'm telling you, hot.
Or
amazing,
even, and
intense.
What I want to say too is, and we're going to get more into this next time around we get into penetration and stuff like that, but if men can start stretching with their women, this is foreplay again, okay?
Hell yes.
Stretching with her. And this can be simple stretching. Me not take your foot and put it into the back of her head. Okay, I'm talking about simple stretch. Just put your legs out and stretch to one side, You sit in front of her, she sits in front of you. You pull her, she pulls you. Just doing stretching and being close and using each other's body. Oh my God, I've had amazing orgasms with that as my foreplay.
Absolutely. And the beauty of it is this, okay? You can do it in terms of like a yoga practice, right?
Yeah.
It just requires one of you to know little something. And you don't have to verse, you don't have to be a practitioner. But just to learn a few stretches, my goodness, it changes everything. Even after. You see, like how enough people are exercising at them, send them little something there. Jump up and down with our little bit. Again, what happens whenever it is exercising is that it lifts the endorphins. That's the feel good neurons, right?
Chemical.
So now, when you start to feel good and you bust a stretch on her and you're feeling her up little bit, you know. You just stretch out the leg, but you run the hand on the body little bit, you make it linger little bit, you make it slide on and touch the pum pum little bit, and you stretch out.
You brush against the crotches.
You brush against the breast them little bit or whatever it is. Mad sick endorphins, you know. Mad sick endorphins. You understand what I mean? So there is so many different ways. You see all that stretching something there? This is what happened. Everything all right over there? Touche. It is.
Not me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but it's a good thing. But as I said, honey, anytime you start that, and you notice the different things that we went through just now, again, all of which help to enhance the interaction with both with both partners, because the man is getting turned on, the woman is getting turned on. This whole stretching thing, and the body is just touching up against each other, barely touching up against each other, or completely touching up against each other. And the fact that when you're sweaty, Jesus, when you're sweaty from the jump up and down also, hello. Yummy for my tummy, man. Yummy. Yeah. Good to go. Good to go.
It's like that good salt. That good salt.
Good for you. You got to lick all of that.
That's got good magnesium.
Good for you. Good for you. Every time. No, I'm curious if anybody has any questions. Because last week we never get no time to ask a question. How we stay with time?
Very low.
With that low, how much we reach?
We have like 2 minutes for time for questions.
Any questions? Now is a good time to fling the questions.
I think people have been saying things. I don't think they've been asking questions. I think they've just been commenting. I'm looking now. Yeah, they're mostly just
and stuff,
commenting and loving it. Rooftop.
Somebody said their partner is against toys.
Elevator so nice.
Elevator, oh God, that is like one of my fantasies.
Yes, elevator is a fantasy. Elevator is a fantasy of mine.
You know what is like the ultimate for me? I want to go in one of those elevators that people can see. You know, like the glass one, them.
Yeah.
Jesus, God, you don't
well, I agree with you, but I have an issue with those things because I just like people watching in general. That's that's a thing that I have, which is why I enjoy Hido.
Hello?
Which is why I enjoy Hido.
Why you think me live down there? Why you think me live down there, girlfriend?
Yes.
Exhibition is to the nth degree every day, every time, all the time.
Well, the last time we were down there, we were naked all day, every day.
All that, gentlemen, like before we wrap up or whatever else, take the woman to one of these resorts. Take her to one of these resorts. Again,
free her up a little bit.
Free her up. It's a good little place, but you could try something completely different. And you can do it locally or you can do it overseas. When nobody not known enough to worry, so nobody got talk. And if it's you're a good woman, you don't give a shit. What the hell people going to say? Them see with a woman naked and looking on the beach. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, that's nothing.
No, absolutely nothing. Change it up because it goes a long way. Every time, all the time, it goes a long way. My girl's a surprise boy.
It does. Listen, man. I'm thinking to myself that I need to I have an issue in myself too because not only do I like when people watch me, I like to watch people. Like it's not about being it's not about being involved. It's just about seeing it and watching it and enjoying it and watching how he responds to her and she responds to him and just like
what it is that I do. I get to help people figure this thing out and get to watch just the same.
Girl, I'm coming to work with you tomorrow.
I will let you know when you can come, sweetheart. As long as I have a willing set of participants, I will let you know when you can.
I'm going to need you to find some willing participants.
Oh God!
Please. We need to go to Hido after this
sweetheart,
coronavirus. No, we're going.
I'm going for the workshops, so rest assured. And in my workshops, we throw down. You understand what I mean? You're free to be a part of it. How we stay with time, so we not get kicked off again. We can.
Okay, so I think that we're like on the border. Like I'm just waiting for them to send me something to say. 20 seconds.
Right.
Here we go. We got 30 seconds.
There you go, guys. I want to say thank you so very much, for joining us on the live, for the participation and so on, for your comments. And even though we never get a chance to read them and so, we will take them out afterwards. The live will be posted on your page, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. So you get a chance to watch it over and all of them little something there. Until next time, we're going to stay safe. Yeah? And